Okay, balance. Okay, so let's sit tall and lift your shoulders up towards your ears, roll them back and down. And bring your hands together at your heart. Let's take 3 ums. So exhale. Oh. 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 Bowing your head to your heart. Salute the teacher within. And then release the hands to your thighs. So let's just start with one shoulder, rolling it up and back and down. So just gentle rolls of the shoulders. Warming them up a little bit. Noticing how your neck is on each side as you kind of hug that shoulder in, maybe feel some soreness, tightness, and then both together. And then we'll take the arms forward and just cross them and then take them back. And forward, cross them and back, and just cross them, alternating which arm is on top. Only going to where it feels okay. And then let's swing them forward a little bit and back. And how far up and how far back you go is up to you. And then if you can, going all the way up, all the way down. Up, and down. And then just with your left arm, kind of turning to the left and making circles. Keep your elbow soft, your shoulder relaxed, and only go as far as makes sense that you're not damaging anything. And then when you get down to the bottom, reverse and go in the other direction. And then let's go to both arms coming up and down, or just halfway up. And then we'll just continue. Big circle with the right arm. Or whatever you're able to do. The very first tenet of yoga is do no harm, non-violence, go the other way. And that means to yourself as well as everything else and everybody else. And then go the other way. Last one. And then hug yourself. Grab hold. Drop your chin. And then go ahead and uncross and cross up the other arm on top. And then release. Let's take some cat cow. Arching and rounding. And then coming back to neutral. Let's separate the legs and circle the hips. And go the other way. And then coming up, keep your legs wide. Take your right hand across the left, bring your left arm over your ear. And coming up, left arm across to the right, right arm over if that's doable for you. And coming back up. And just walk your feet back into mountain pose. And let's inhale the arms up and exhale and bow. Inhale, bring your hands up to your knees and arch your spine. Exhale and fold. Inhale, bring the arms all the way up and overhead. Exhale, bow. Inhale, halfway up and arch your back. Exhale and fold. Inhale, bring the arms all the way up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms all the way up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, release your arms. And twist to the right. And then go to the left. And come back to the center. Then go ahead and stand up and turn your chair where the back of the chair is to your right and sit back in your chair with the back of the chair on your right side. And we'll twist around towards the back of the chair using the arms to get a little deeper twist this time. Pushing with that right hand, pulling with the left. Draw your navel back. Try to do most of your turning from your ribs, not from your low back or your pelvis. Now take your right hand and reach behind you and find the front edge of your chair seat. Just grab hold and then walk your left hand across to the right side of the back of the chair. Turn your head back to the left. Keep your shoulders over your hips. And then release all the way around. And then you can just turn around or turn your chair around either way. And turn again towards the back of the chair. Pushing with your right hand, pulling with your left. Maybe it's just the opposite. Not used to turning around. Yeah, so if you're turned around, then it's going to be the opposite. But if you just turned your chair, it's going to be the same as what I'm doing. And then reach behind you, find the front edge of your chair and pull with the other hand to turn your trunk even more to the left. And turn your head back to the right. So you're turning your head and neck out of the twist. And then release. And just turn your chair back forward. Get your bolster and your blocks in a second chair and start to work on the hips. So just put your blocks in front of you and your bolster on top of it. And we'll start in Baddha Konasana with the soles of the feet together and the knees out to the side. And then just sit tall, climbing up through your spine, through the crown of the head. And then we're going to reach with our left hand across the right side of the chair in front of you. Turning your head back towards that right hip. And then coming back, taking the right hand to the left side of the chair, turning to the left. And now both hands in the chair in front of you. And then just reach with your right hand towards the back of the chair. And then change and reach with your left hand. And then both hands in the chair seat. Pressing down, elbows straight, pull your chest forward. And then come back up and just bring your feet together, knees together. Get your belt, your strap. You're gonna have to unhook it if it's in a loop. Take the loop out. And we're gonna make a loop around the back of the chair. So over the back of the chair. Just tighten it down. And move the buckle so it's on the back of your chair. And then come back to sit. And put your legs back into Baddha Konasana. And just put the strap over your shoulder. Okay, so the belt's like this. And you can just put your feet on your bolster with the knees together. And slide your hips up towards your legs, up towards the back of your legs. Now we're just going to take the strap and grab hold of it over your head and just pull up on it to help you get some length in your spine. And you don't have to use both hands. You can just use the one arm. If you only have one arm, that's really. What's your question, Mary Caroline? You can unmute yourself if you got a question.
Where are your feet? What are your feet doing?
They're up on the bolster.
Side by side?
Knees up. So we're doing a squat. Okay, now walk your hands or hand down the strap. That may be a little harder for you, Richard, because you've only got one hand that you're using. So you may want to just go without the strap. And you're trying to walk your hands down as far as you can and get your elbows in close to your head. Pull up on the strap. Take your tailbone down and keep breathing. You're gonna be big stretch in your tricep muscles. Okay, navel back, head back. Squeeze your arms in towards your head, Harita. There you go. Good job. And then release. Take hold of the back of your chair now and just lean forward. And then coming back up, let's repeat that. Just grabbing hold, walking down, pulling the elbows in, pulling up on the strap to elongate the spine. Squeeze your arms in. Lift those elbows up, open up your armpits. Squeeze your arms into your head. Really working those tricep muscles, but also your lat muscles. Release. And come back into Baddha Konasana now. So knees out, soles of the feet together, slide back into your chair seat a little bit. And just taking a deep breath. Take advantage of the length that you gained in the last pose. So try to feel how you've opened up yourself more on the front and the back of your body. And then we'll go ahead and take it up with the legs spread. So squeeze the arms in, walk your hands down the strap, pull up, keep your navel back, keep your tailbone down. Stretch out those armpits, press your shoulder blades forward, but pull the front ribs back. Shoulder blades press forward, front ribs press back. Squeeze in and release. So FedEx just drove up. Prepare for lots of dog noise. Okay, so let's go ahead and twist to the right while in Baddha Konasana. And then twist to the left. Back. Good. You just put the strap off of you and then remove your, put your bolster up in your chair seat in front of you and widen your blocks as wide as your front chair legs. And then spread your legs wide. And then take your hands onto your bolster. And with your hands on your bolster, elbows straight, push your hips back and pull your spine, front spine forward. And then see if you can walk forward. See if you can get your forearms down on your bolster. Now take your left hand and bring it to the block on the right. So just reach across to the right block and start to turn your trunk, and you can put your head down on your bolster. So keep your right arm on the bolster, left side of the head resting on the bolster, left hand on the block to the right, and turn. Now, if you can push your block more to the right and encourage more twist in your ribs, do that. Push it out to the right as far as it'll go, reaching with that left hand. Feeling that stretch all on the back of the left shoulder, left arm, left lat. And then come back up, both hands on the bolster. Long spine, shoulder blades dropped. And then see if you can come again onto your forearms and then reach your right hand onto the block on the left, push it out to the left, drop your head down onto your bolster. Notice if this side feels different. And if it does, in what way is it different? Do you feel it in a different place? Come back, both hands on the bolster. Elongate through your spine. And then bring your hands back to your legs and sit back. Okay, so before we do any more of this, I want to get the hip flexors open a little bit. So let's go ahead and stand up, bring your chair in front of you with your bolster in the chair, and let's stretch the back of the legs and the front of the hips. So put your blocks in line with your front chair legs. And take your right foot forward, step your left leg way back. Turn your pelvis to square it to the front edge of your chair seat. Bring your hands to your bolster. Now start to push the left leg back until you feel a good stretch in the calf muscle. And look at your right leg and make sure you're not pushing that right hip out beyond the right outer ankle. So keep that right hip in. Now bend your right knee. Reach the knee towards the front edge of your bolster, stretch that left leg, but keep trying to roll the top of the hip in of that left leg. Don't let it roll out, but stay on the outer foot. And then really straighten your right leg, push your left thigh back, tailbone down. And then start to come forward. You can come forward as far as you like. You can rest your head, do that, and then put your hands on your blocks. Now pull both thighs back and lift your head a little bit and elongate your spine forward, and then replace your head if it's down. Push down into your blocks and roll your arm bones out. Spread open your fingers. Keep your kneecaps lifting. And then take your hands back up onto your bolster. And then we're gonna take the left forearm and just put it down onto the bolster, right in the center. Now, take your left hand and put it back there on the back of your pelvis and see if you've dropped the left side of your hip down. And try to keep the pelvis level so you could put something back there on your sacrum without it tipping. And then just put your hand on your hip, your left hand, and take that left elbow towards the ceiling, pushing down with the right forearm. Turn your trunk to the right. Turn the trunk to the right. So your trunk should be going in the same direction that front leg is. So Mary Caroline, it looks like you're turning to the left. Your left arm should be on the bolster, not your right. There you go. Now turn. It's very different. Keep turning. Lift that elbow, that right elbow up towards the ceiling. Turn your ribs. And then come back, put both hands on the bolster. Step in. Stand up into mountain pose. So other side, so left leg stays forward, right leg steps back. Take your hands back to your bolster. Press both thighs back. Check your outer left hip and make sure you're not pushing it out to the left, but keep the hip in line with your outer ankle. Push the right heel down. And then as you feel ready, you can come over and put your hands on your blocks if that's doable. Keep them up on your bolster if you need to. Now push back into both thighs. Lift your head a little bit off the bolster and stretch your whole spine forward. And then put your head back down. Turn that right hip towards the chair seat. Pull your left hip back. And then bring your hands back to your bolster, push up. Now take your right forearm onto the center of that bolster. Don't let your right hip drop. Take your left hand onto your left hip and take the elbow towards the ceiling. Turn your trunk, your ribs to the left. Keep the right hip up. Don't let it drop. The more you let it drop, the more you're going to twist from your low back rather than your ribs. Push that right heel down. And then untwist, hands back to the bolster. Step in, back to mountain pose. Okay, so hopefully you still have your strap wrapped around the back of your chair. I want you to be really careful with this. So you're going to stand back and you're going to put your right heel up onto your bolster. And you're hanging on to your strap to help keep your balance. Go ahead. If the bolster's too high, take the bolster down and put your heel in the chair seat. You want to be able to get that leg straight. If the bolster is too low, you can always add blocks underneath the bolster. So key here is you got to push that heel down that's up on the bolster, pull gently on your strap. So both hands together on your strap. Now you want to pull so that your shoulders go back. So you really have to keep that connection with the heel into the bolster. Keep your left thigh back, push it back. Stand up in to the leg and lift the pelvis up off of your leg. Don't collapse down into that hip. Rather lift up. Stand up out of the hip, lifting your spine towards the crown of your head. Now, walk your hands down the strap toward your foot. If you can put your hands on your bolster or your chair seat, do that. That may not be possible, but get as close as, it's doable for you. I can always tell when I get to something hard because everybody disappears. Keep your kneecaps lifted. And then stand back up and release. Stand in mountain pose. Hold on to the strap and lift your other leg up. Push down into the heel. Pull back with your arms. Shoulder blades down. Lift the front of your chest up. Lift your pelvis up off of your right leg. And either just hold this, or if you can pull on that strap, walk yourself forward. And just put your hands on your bolster or your chair seat, or just stay up holding on to the strap. Lift both thighs, pulling them up towards the hips. Push your standing thigh back and pull your front chest forward. And then find your strap and stand back up. Lots of balance here. And then release. And just put your strap over the back of the chair. Put your hands on your bolster and walk your legs back and separate them as wide as your mat. Just the palms of the hands on the bolster. Widen your arms as wide as your bolster. Kind of turning the fingers out. Now push your hands down until you feel your armpits kind of lift up. Keep the armpits lifted, but press your shoulder blades down. Lift your navel up. Push the back of your pelvis down into your heels. And your legs should be active, working. And then come back up. Back to mountain pose. Okay, so hands onto your bolster. Walk your feet back just a little bit. Come up onto your toes. Now come forward with the front of your pelvis. See if you can do this. Just put your hips on your bolster. I know we kind of went through this the other day and there was a lot of fear about letting your hips come forward. So see if you can make sure that your chair is stable on your mat. So it's not sliding around, because that certainly is good reason to feel fearful if you don't have control over your bolster. And just bring your pelvis all the way onto your bolster. And then push back. Okay, good. So let's go ahead and bring the blocks and the bolster back to the floor, turning the chair back around. And having your second chair in front of you. Come back to Baddha Konasana. And bring that second chair pretty close. And we're going to take that right foot up into the chair seat. Knees still bent, knee reaching out to the right. Left foot on the bolster in front of you. And then with your hands wrapped around the front of your chair seat, pull up. Now, when you pull up, don't pull your shoulders up. Just pull up with your arms so that you feel it more in your spine than your shoulders. Drop your chin down. Now trace your collarbones with your chin up towards the right shoulder. And come down, go up to the left shoulder. And back to the center. Over to the right. And to the left. Do that a couple more times. Feel any tightness in the base of your skull. And then come back to the center. Now, maintaining, either stay exactly as you are, as if this is your edge, or take your fingertips into the chair seat. Just walk forward, opening that hip a little bit more. Breathe and relax. Breathe and relax that hip. And then go ahead and straighten that right leg into your chair seat. And take your left arm up. Reach it up by your ear as high as you can. Reach for the back of your chair. Remember, your chair is movable. You don't have to leave it where it is. Make it where you can reach it. And then take your right arm back behind you and pull on the two chairs, pulling your left one to the left and the right one to the right to turn your trunk to the right. Turn the rib cage. Now, keep the length of your spine, whatever you've managed to get, and bring that right hand back to the left and fold. Reach down with your hands, lift your armpits, but press your shoulder blades down. Now start to reach with your right elbow. So bend the right elbow, drop it down, and kind of begin to turn your trunk to the left. Turn back to the center and come back up. Release back to Baddha Konasana. And sit tall. And then let's just take the left foot, the knee bent out to the left, just put the foot right on the front edge of your chair. And then pull up on the front of the chair with your arms. And we'll lift the chin up. As you lift the chin, try to imagine that you're lifting from way down below your chest. Lift, lift, lift. Now keep this lift in the front of your spine, but drop your chin. And then as you go to lift the chin again, lift from the top, the bottom of your chest. Keep it up as you bring the head back. One more time, lift. Remember not to scrunch your shoulders, pulling up on your arms, but not your shoulders. And then tuck your chin one more time. And then go ahead and stretch that left leg out into your chair seat. Keep pulling up on your chair. Press that left thigh down. And then reach with your right hand to the back of the chair. And then reach to the back chair with your left hand. And pull your right arm back to the right. And pull your left arm back to the left. Turn your trunk. The idea is to get as much rotation in your spine as you can. And then bring that left arm forward to join the right. And bow forward. Your arms straight, your armpits lifting. As you press your shoulder blades down. Press your leg down. Now with your head kind of resting on the inside of that left arm, bend the left elbow and turn your trunk towards the right. Use your exhale to relax. And then turn back. And come back up. And then back to Baddha Konasana. And then let's take both feet, both legs up into the chair. Straight legs. And just kind of pull the flesh of the buttocks diagonally out to the side so you're sitting right up on your sit bones. And we're going to reach for the sides of the chair. Now, once you get hold of the sides of the chair, move your chair so that you can reach it. Pull down on the sides of the chair to lift your chest up. Pull your arm bones down. So don't let your shoulders lift up. Now, start to bend your elbows straight down and see if you can bring your belly any closer to your thighs. So keep your chest up. This is not head down. This is belly down. Okay. So I'm pulling down to get my belly on my legs, not my head on my legs. Much harder to get the belly on the thighs. But the only way you're going to get your head down there is if you round your back, and we're not doing that. We're keeping your spine long. Push down on your thighs, pull down on the chair, bend your elbows. Breathe. And then release. Now to come into Sukhasana. So crossed at the shins, sitting up tall. Relax your mind, relax your effort. Into your breathing now. Feel your breath at your navel, your chest, or your nose. And as you breathe in, just whisper to yourself, breathing in, I feel peace. Breathing out, I'm calm. Breathing in, I feel peace. Breathing out, I'm calm. Change the cross of the legs. Bring the hands together at the heart, sitting nice and tall. Bow the head. And just thank yourself for taking this time. May we have faith to know the divine enriches us, invigorates us, and is present with us throughout our day. Thank you for allowing me to share this journey with you. Namaste. Okie doke. Hey, wish you a good Friday, and I will see you on Saturday. Take good care. Bye-bye.